Buchan is situated on the land of the Yugambeh people. I would like to acknowledge the people who are the traditional custodians of this land and pay respect to the elders past, present and emerging, and extend that respect to other Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. A better understanding and respect for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people develops an enriched appreciation of Australia's true history and can lead to reconciliation. It is essential to the maturity of Australia as a nation and fundamental to the development of an Australian identity. I asked my kids if there was any evidence of First Peoples or acknowledgement of the First Peoples in and around their schools. My son said yes, we have an Aboriginal garden and we do an acknowledgement of country before every talk or at the beginning of each parade. My daughter told me at her school they acknowledge the Yugambeh people. It's good to know that my children have heard about the acknowledgements of country, that they are aware of the Yugambeh people and of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander flags. I didn't realise this about either of their schools. At the very least, there is some visibility and value on Australia's First Peoples. It's interesting that this is only really noticeable in education and education facilities. At university, I've learnt the more educated people are, the more aware they are of privilege and oppression. So, is this an awareness or is it tokenistic? I'm not sure. When I engage with country or the place that I live, I can remember what it was like moving from suburbia out to the bush. I realised how disconnected I was from the natural environment and myself. The idea of being outdoors was an archetype I had, something that was passed down to me from the dominant group, from media and advertising. It was images like these that were stereotyped as fun and good and how to be outside, whereas when I moved to the bush, the images of being outside looked a little bit more like this. When I first started learning about First Australians, I felt like a blindfold had been removed. I'd learned the truth about the Captain Cook story and the extent of what colonisation did and continues to do to the First Peoples of Australia. When I first started looking at my local environment, Buchan, the place where I live, the same propaganda theme began to emerge. Surrounding areas like Waterford and Beenleigh were a 15-minute drive from my place and recognised as Indigenous land. Yet in Buchan, it was founded by 2 early settlers. Before I knew about privilege, I wouldn't have thought anything about such an anomaly. How could suburbs so close together be separated by ownership? How could one area be acknowledged as the land of the Yugambeh people, yet the other lay claim to sovereignty? This time I wasn't shocked. I was disappointed with people like myself from privileged groups. My country, the place where I live, hasn't changed. I have. And what I believe we need to do is dispel the myths and propaganda. Here is what we need to challenge.